Hey everyone, I just wanted to give you a quick look at a couple things I got recently that I think might help you out if you're doing virtual production stuff. One of them is just a cable that happens to fit the Vive trackers and controllers really well. And the other one is a tablet stand, which comes in really handy if you're trying to use an iPhone or iPad based face capture program. Now you can see this is the tablet stand I had to start with. And with the iPad sitting in it like this, there really isn't much room down here for a cable to come out. I found that was a bit of a problem because my USB-C Ethernet dock that I was trying to use with it has a pretty chunky cable and didn't want to really make this corner here very well. Also, this is kind of short. You really want the tablet right up in front of your face when you're doing a face capture setup. So I picked up this stand here, which is from a company called Vive, and it has the ability to hold an iPad. You can adjust it to any height and pretty much any position that you need. All these joints are made of metal, and you can tighten them and loosen them with an Allen key so that they'll work with just about whatever position you want to have them in. Now the tablet holder itself is actually made of plastic, but it seems pretty sturdy, and I don't think there's any chance that it'll ever drop your tablet. You can adjust it for horizontal or vertical. And it will also fit something like a standard iPhone X. As you can see, there's a ton of empty space under here so that you can plug in the chunkiest of cables without any problem. And there'll be a link in the description of the video that shows where you can get one of these if you want it. Now the other thing I wanted to show you is just a simple cable. Now you may think that cables are cables, but there is a little bit of a problem sometimes with cables for Vive devices, and I'll tell you why. If you look at a Vive controller, right here where the cable goes in, I don't know how well you can see it on camera, the connector is actually recessed inside of the controller. And it's the same way on the Vive trackers. It's not recessed as much, but it still is. Now, if you happen to get the typical kind of USB cable, like this one here, you can see that it has a fairly chunky connector on the end of it, with a large plastic surround here. And what happens is if you try to use this with your, say, your Vive controller, it won't go in. It just doesn't fit, or you have to force it. And the same thing goes for the Vive tracker. If you just pop it in there like that, it has a hard time fitting. In fact, the only reason that this one fits into my Vive controller and my Vive tracker is that I've taken a knife and actually cut down the edges of this surround to make it fit, which is a big pain in the neck. So if you want to avoid this problem, you need a cable like this one. This is from a company I bought cables from a lot for iPhones and other things, called Anker, and this is the Powerline Plus cable. It's about 10 feet long, has a kevlar jacket on the cable and a really solid strain relief. But most importantly, if you compare it to this other thing, you can see that the surround on the plug is much smaller. In fact, it's about the same size as the ones on the cables that come with the Vive. So this one fits right into the Vive tracker easily, and easily fits into the Vive controller with room to spare. And I didn't have to trim it with a knife or sandpaper it down to make it fit. So if you're wanting to use your Vive trackers or Vive controllers always connected to USB, or you just need extra cables for charging, I'd recommend getting these because they actually fit in there and you don't have to jam them into place to make it work. Hope this information was useful. I'll see you again next time.